Hey everyone, I'm Albert Boris. Yesterday, a Nintendo Direct aired, and we all have our reasons for having watched it. But I think a lot of people, including me, watched it for the purpose of getting more information on Mario Party Superstars, the game that was announced back at the E3 Direct of 2021. And I was one of the first people to do prediction videos on it. I predicted boards, characters, and I was going to upload my minigame predictions video this week, but you know, this Direct kind of ruined it. So instead, I thought of making a discussion video centered around this new trailer, because as it seems, all information about this game appears to have been revealed now. So that's what this video will be about. But before we start, make sure to like, share and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content, because at 1000 subscribers I will make a ranking on every single Mario Party game. So with that being said, let's get started. First things first, the boards. Probably the most anticipated aspect of this game. In the E3 Direct, they talked about 2 of the boards. In this Direct, we get to hear about the other 3 as well. And the first board they talk about is Woody Woods. Yeah, I bet no one saw this coming. Jokes aside, I'm really glad this board is getting included. It's probably my favorite board from Mario Party 3, and debatably one of my favorite boards in general, so to see it in a collection of just 5 boards, I like that. It's just a bit unfortunate that they ruined this surprise by, you know, literally having it on the cover art of the game. Other than that, not much to say about this board. Moving on. Next up is Yoshi's Tropical Island? Well, I'm not completely surprised. A lot of people predicted this board would make the cut. Not necessarily because it's good or anything, but because of a tiny detail in one of the Japanese teaser trailers. Apparently there was a pink Yoshi sticker in it, and coincidentally enough, there is a pink Yoshi on the board in the N64 version. It's incredible how people notice things. I'd say that around 99.8% of all fans knew the truth from this. And if you wonder who that remaining percent is, that's me. If you watched my video ranking the likelihood of boards returning, you know that I didn't think this board had much of a chance. I put it in the unlikely tier and debated on putting it in the impossible tier, only beating Horrorland. And this is because when you compare it with the already revealed birthday cake, they look eerily similar. Sure, there's the aesthetic difference, however, they both contain precisely 2 islands, both have a set start space, and they're both from Mario Party 1. Why would you remake 2 very similar boards from the same game? I didn't really like the sound when I heard about this at first, however, when I'm looking at these images now, I'd say this board is actually quite distinct. Visually speaking, this is by far my favorite board in Mario Party Superstars, and I look forward to playing it. Turns out all those worries I had about this board were just a bunch of BS. And now comes the board you've all been looking forward to hear about, Horrorland. In last place we have Horrorland. Horrorland is probably the board that was most begged for to return by fans, and it's no surprise why. It's great. It introduced the day-night gimmick long before Mario Party 6 did, and while it wasn't as developed as in 6, it was still ahead of its time. So it's no surprise everyone wanted this to return. Me? In case you've been living under a rock, Horrorland was the board I predicted had the smallest chance of returning, by a long shot. I'll admit part of it was for shock value, however, it's just that it looks so eerily similar to Woody Woods, the N64 versions, that is. Not only are they both boards set in forests, but their map layouts are also very similar. I don't think I was wrong for putting it low. I mean, things considered, they were quite similar in that aspect. However, looking back, there was a huge error I forgot to realize, which makes a big part of my ranking a bit flawed. I didn't take into consideration the aesthetic difference on the Switch. On the N64, these 2 boards looked very similar, but that's because it was an N64. On the Switch, however, they couldn't look any more different. One is a lush and vibrant forest, while the other is an abandoned graveyard, with only trees in the background. I definitely can't say I'm disappointed in Horrorland's inclusion anymore. This looks like it's going to be one of the finest boards ever made. And that's it for boards, it seems. If we're lucky, maybe we're getting a secret unlockable 6th board, but honestly, what could that be? With 2 boards from both 1 and 2, the 6th unlockable board would have to be from Mario Party 3, and preferably a finale board, but since Mario Party 3 doesn't have a Bowser board like 1 and 2 do, that would mean Waluigi Island would have to make the cut, which doesn't seem very likely considering the aesthetic similar to both Tropical Island and Woody Woods. Time will tell. So, let's talk about the...
Hello there.
Who the f are you? Get out of my screen.
You don't recognize me? It's me, Bert Auris, your evil twin brother.
I thought I dumped you in Babam Factory.
Well, I'm back now.
What's your problem, bro? Can't you see I'm busy?
Well, I just wanted to remind you that you promised you would shave yourself if Spinny Desert didn't get remade.
What?
Here, I'll show you.
Spinny Desert is the single most likely board to return in this game. If it doesn't, I'll literally drop my A on my face. Dear goodness, I didn't mean it literally.
Well, I thought you did.
Whatever, I'm not shaving anything here.
At last, it is mine.
Now, as I've already said, this trailer likely showcased everything that will be in the final game. On a more bitter note, if there is a reason why I wouldn't want this to be the case, it's the character roster thus far. In the original E3 Direct, there were 9 characters revealed. These ones. As you might have guessed from this, Daisy is surprisingly missing from it, despite her being a major character in Mario Party. Obviously though, we all knew she would appear, and in this new trailer, she did. Sure, it's hard to see her, but she did appear, and she was the only character revealed in this trailer. So if the theory is correct, that would mean we will only have 10 characters in the final game. I hope this isn't the final roster. Sure, it encapsulates all major characters in Mario Party, plus Birdo. It's a pretty solid selection, especially when you compare to say the top 100 or DS. However, with the capabilities of the Switch, I think it would be most unfortunate if they didn't utilize it and add more than just the essentials. As it stands now, it's a fine roster, but I'd certainly like a little bit more out of it. And that was everything I had to say about the characters.
Never. With this letter A, I sound exactly like you. I am unstoppable.
The minigame department of Mario Party Superstars is the only one we can say for certain is complete. It was confirmed back in the E3 Direct that there would be 100 minigames returning across the 10 home console Mario Parties. And now with the current trailer in use, all 100 minigames have been revealed, and it's pretty unbalanced unfortunately. One of my main problems with Mario Party the Top 100 was the unbalanced distribution of minigames. Mario Party 5 had 17 minigames, 8 had just 3. In Superstars, I'd say it's slightly more balanced, but also more biased towards the older entries. It's like, the older, the more minigames. Over half of all minigames revealed are from Mario Party 1, 2, 3. I'm not even exaggerating, just look at the minigames confirmed. Mario Party 3 has a whopping 24 minigames, a fourth of the entire game's library. And then as you walk towards the newer entries, it gets smaller and smaller. The GameCube entries have around 5 to 10 minigames per game, which is smaller than the N64 entries, but it's balanced. But then you get the Wii games and... Like, I know these aren't the most popular ones, but for goodness sake, 9 gets 4 minigames, 10 gets 3 minigames, and 8 only gets 2 minigames. Yes, that's right, only 2 minigames. Even the top 100 had at least 3 from 8. Now, I'll give the game this. The minigames this time around are a lot better than what they were in the top 100. There seem to be a little more fan favorites this time around. Minigames like Dungeon Duos and Shell Soccer, which were snubbed in the top 100, did make the cut in Superstars. And atrocities like Button Mashers and Dart Attack were omitted in Superstars, despite their return in the top 100. And I'll say this, as sad as it is getting only 2 minigames from Mario Party 8, at least we got 2 good minigames, instead of 3 mediocre ones like in the top 100. Now, what is my final thought on this minigame collection? Well, it's good. Not great, but it's good. It's a step in the right direction when compared to the top 100's roster. And that was all I had to say about this trailer. I might have missed a thing or two, like the new minigame modes, however, there's not much to talk about. But that was my video. What are your thoughts on the new trailer? Remember to like, share and subscribe, because at 1000 subscribers, I will rank every single Mario Party game. Now before we end this video though...
Wait, I didn't see that last thing.
Finally I can talk again. Not today, Auris.
One day I will have my revenge.